Hello YouTube, today I'll show you my Tearlaments Lunalight deck profile. It's just a mix of two decks or two archetypes, which really combines well because Lunalights all have effects when they send to the graveyard, and also they are Beast Warriors level 4, which help you make the Bujinte that mills 5. I'm not going to pronounce his name because it's like one of those Japanese names, but my best try will be Kagutsushi. Yeah, so I'll not say the name again, but yeah. The Lunalight package just helps you do that, and also, as I said, it has cool effects in graveyard, and you all know the Tearlament card, like you end on the Rulkallos, trap cards, you fusion your opponent, you have access to Winda. So yeah, without further ado, we'll go for the main deck. I'll start with the Tearlament side of the deck, so just 3 Tearlaments Kashtira. So this card is pretty busted. You can play during your opponent's turn, even going second. If you have another tier name in hand, even itself, it doesn't matter. So you just banish that and special her, meal 3, and let's roll the dice from there, because most of the time it's a luck deck. And yeah, when it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you get to meal 2, so that's that. 2 Reinoheart. You don't want 3 because you need your normal summon for your Lunalight portion of the deck. But if it happened to draw it or plan it, and you have some kind of plays you want to do, 2 is enough, even seeing it when you mill it to the result on that. And then for the other tier names, unfortunately they all limited, but 1 Scheiren, 1 Havnis, and 1 Merrli. Merrli you can do most of the time because it's part of the combo. You go for your cross sheep, and cross sheep is just a link to, you can go for your sprint and dump Merrli so you can fusion. Or if you don't, you already milled Merrli, you can go for your Appaloosa line, and Havnis and Scheiren have all the same fusion effect. Then 3 planets. This card is busted. The deck is still good because this is a 3, and it just pops stuff, boosts your fusion, takes your Winda to 27. You can catch some people off guard that don't know that this card boosts. And when a tier name is shuffled back to the deck, you get to pop a card. It helps you turn 1 and during your opponent's turn, of course. Next, 3 Scream. Yep, I play maximum of this card because having access to your trap cards, and with the Lunalight effect, for example, your Lunalight trap card, the Serenade Dance, you can dump any card with it, and it doesn't dump for cost, it goes for card effect, so you get to trigger the effect of your Tearlaments when discarding. For Serenade Dance, 1 Grief. Grief is just another fusion, like it's another polymerization. So you just special tier name, directly send to the graveyard, trigger its effect. If you want the fusion, you got your 3 limited Tearlament cards. If you want to trigger your Reinoheart and you got like a Sulliek in hand, you can go for your Reinoheart. If you want to mill 2, you can just special summon tier cash and mill 2. Next, for trap cards, 2 Sulliek. Center graveyard by card effect is a Rhoda. And on field is monster negation, and if you send a tier name is fusion, so pretty dope. The Book of Moon, Metanoise. So yeah, if you control a tier, Book of Moon, a monster your opponent controls, and send a tier card from your deck to your graveyard, like what you want more. You can get Ash, but yeah, it's too good not to play. The Trivikarma, of course, we play the Foolish Goods, so this allows us to get to our field, which is pretty busted. Then for the Lunalight package, we have 2 Kaleido Chick. So Kaleido Chick sends a Lunalight monster from the extra deck or deck to the graveyard, not for effect but for cost, and takes his name. It doesn't matter, you just go and send the yellow Marten. And also relevant in this deck, is the effect when it's sent to the grave by card effect, you get to target one Polymerization, the OG Poly, and add it to your hand. So, yep, that can come up a lot. Yellow Marten, okay, so in grave effect, you can target one Lunalight card you control, bounce it to the hand, special her, but banish it when it leaves the field. And also, when it's set by card effect, you get to add a Lunalight spell on trap. So unfortunately, Lunalight Perfume is not a Lunalight card. So you can only search the Serenade dance, but that's good enough. It's a good discard. The one lonely Tiger. So Tiger scale effect, of course, you won't only go and use that. Just scale effect, now it's once per turn. You get to special summon a Lunalight from your graveyard. It sucks that it doesn't have that or hand, but it's also good. Then the combo is just go for this, send Yellow Marten, and if you have something like the Perfume in graveyard, you get to search your Tiger. It sucks milling the Tiger, but you have your Shufflers back, and also you have your effect of the Emerald Bird, which is pretty good. It came up a lot for me, surprisingly, but yeah. So if you already milled this and you milled this by card effect, you get to special this, and if you have Marten in your graveyard or hand, you can just use Marten effect to bounce back your Lunalight Tiger from the monster zone and special her, and then use Tiger effect to go for your Emerald Bird to make 2 level 4 Beast Warriors, so you can go for your Bajinte. So yeah, it's little interactions that you keep in mind with this deck to go for your mill 5, but they are in synergy so much with Tearlaments. But yeah, maximize on the Perfume because you want to mill this card, of course. It just discard one search a Lunalight monster. And the good thing about the Ishizu millers is they don't have to go by card effect. They just have to go to the graveyard from the deck or hand, and they get to trigger their effect. And then the one Serenade dance. Also, this is not once per turn, so it's pretty good. The Perfume. Serenade dance, of course, if it's in the graveyard, you get to banish it as cost, and then for part of the effect is to send a card from your hand to the graveyard, and then special summon a Lunalight monster from your deck, which is pretty nice because you get to trigger so much with this card. Next, for the Ishizu cards, of course, 2 millers and then 2 shufflers. Shufflers can put in so much work. Get to shuffle back your Bajinte, so you can go twice per turn, because even the Bajinte is not once per turn. It's a mandatory effect on summon to mill 5, so it's pretty good. Of course, King of the Swamp with the one OG Poly, gotta play it. Next, of course, we play a little Shaddoll engine, just 2 monsters. Squamata the Mill Beast, and if you Mill Beast, you just draw 1. And that gives you access to your Winda, which can win games by its own. And the only offensive card is Super Poly. I don't play anything else, no Kaijus, no hand traps, of course. It sucks milling them. I mean, it sucks already milling my Terraforming Foolish Burials, my field spells. Trying to be as much consistent as I can. So for Foolish, 1 Burial, 2 goods. You can go 3 goods, but as I said, it sucks milling it, so keep that in mind. Also, the 1 Terraforming to search your field spell. And that's it for the main deck. 45, that's a lot, but yeah, the deck can really roll once it gets the ball rolling. Okay, for the extra deck, 1 Rulkallos, not much to say about this. 1 Kaleido-Heart, then 1 Mud Dragon, of course, more targets for your Super Poly, and for some awkward situation, you just want to use a tier name to fusion to this. 1 Winda, as I said, most of the time is enough to win games by its own. Garura, Stapelia for more fusion targets, and the Chimera. So the Chimera, I've played this as like 2 locals now, so it's like 8 matches and some tests with my buddies, but I never summoned this card, so In the future, I really will consider taking this card out. But in theory, it's so good because you can fusion for a Miller, like an Ishizu Miller, for your tier name to trigger, for your Lunalight to trigger. It's so good, but in theory, it never comes up. I don't know. In testing, it never comes up. But yeah, I will replace this for a Zeus because it's so easy to have 2 level 4s in this deck on field. So yeah, the Grapha fusion, you have to have outs for cards like Evenly. It just fucks you up if you get Evenly. It's so hard to recover from there, yeah, especially when you lose like your Rulkallos. It sucks. So yeah, you gotta have cards like Grapha. Then for XZs, the Nightmare, Redoer, and the Bujinte. So as I say, the Bujinte is only relevant effect is to mill 5, yeah. And Redoer, of course, it will trigger whatever material you got under there. And this, when you go full combo, you can add on 2 extra Lunalights, which can make this because it needs 2 level 4 dark monsters. And this will just book your opponent's stuff face down. Cross Sheep, part of the combo. Go for your Lunalight after your fusion for any fusion, basically. But most of the time, it will be your Rulkallos into a zone, and you go for your Lunalight stuff, especially into the other zone they can discard points to, and will just trigger the effect to special Lunalight from the graveyard. So yeah, that's when you go for your Nightmare. Next, one sprint, as I said, if you haven't fusioned yet or you want to fusion one more time for like to end your turn with a Winda and pass, you just go this with another material for sprints and Merrli and fusion summon. 1 dark for dark sprint combo, of course. And if you know you're playing a heavy monster deck against a heavy monster effect deck, you just go for Appaloosa with 3 negates, Rulkallos, set card, and hopefully a Graph to play around, evenly matched. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. It's a fun deck, not really competitive because yeah, tier haven't hit in the new ban list, the September ban list. But still, I don't think this is the best version. This is a fun version to catch your opponent off guard because most have forgotten that Lunalight are still a card. So yeah, if you have this card lying around, here's a deck profile for you. Go out there and have fun.